The Game Awards have revealed their nominees, and let's talk about Game of the Year today, as there is a lot to unpack here. Let's not waste any more time and start now. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I love predicting Game of the Year, as well as the nominees. This year, I predicted all 6 of these, and I'm very happy. I wasn't so confident about Alan Wake 2 because I wasn't too informed about how the game is doing, but after doing some research, people really love it. And this game is actually leading the nominations along with Baldur's Gate 3. So, my thoughts. Well, why don't we start with Alan Wake 2? So like I said, I'm not too familiar with this game. I remember a long time ago, I was a lot younger. I played the original Alan Wake, the first game, on the Xbox 360, the one with the flashlight and the horror aspects. I didn't really understand it back then, but I feel like they are really good games, both this and Alan Wake 2. People say this game did do a really good job with its writing and atmosphere, so good job, Remedy. And Remedy, if you don't know, also created Control, which is another game that got nominated for Game of the Year back in 2020. And yeah, Alan Wake 2 will definitely win some awards here in this show. The game that I do think will win Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3. A lot of people are also speculating this as well. This game has been absolutely unstoppable ever since this game was released. So many people are playing it. It's one of the highest rated games ever. It has very deep lore. It has a lot you can do. You have so many ways you can approach this game. I myself have not played it because it's not really my kind of genre, but seeing the overwhelming amount of success that this game is giving, it's worth a try. Maybe I do like this type of genre. If you're not familiar, it's like a D&D RPG, Dungeons & Dragons. So people who do like Dungeons & Dragons, well, this might as well be one of their favorite games of all time. I do predict this game will ultimately take it at the Game Awards, and it will be very close because we still got some other games left to cover. Now, the game that I feel like will definitely not get it is going to be Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and that is heartbreaking because this, along with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, by the time this video is released, this will be one of the 2 games that I finished playing, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is chef's kiss. It is incredible. Some people say they do play it safe. I can understand that, but I mean, what else could they have done? Marvel Spider-Man on the PS4, as well as Miles Morales? Those are some of my favorite games of all time. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time. And they just did everything right. They did it even better. It's like the opening scene. I don't know how they managed to top the other 2 opening scenes in the other games, but they did. The villains are amazing, the character development is crazy, the combat is even better, the way you can navigate around the city, they just do everything right. Like, it's very hard to find a flaw here. Maybe one day I'll go more in depth about how I feel about Marvel Spider-Man 2. But yes, when this game dropped, I was like, okay, it's finally time to get the PS5. And I did, and I'm so happy, because this game is everything I wanted plus more. But as far as winning Game of the Year, not quite. I don't think it will get it. Next we have Resident Evil 4. So this one has gotten a few people upset because they feel like, well, why is a remake getting nominated for Game of the Year? So there are 2 sides to this. So one will say, well, it's a remake that is fully fleshed, and, it's still a reimagining of the game, so it does qualify as a new game to be Game of the Year. And then there's another side that will say, well, it's still trying to be the same game it was a long time ago, so it's not something original. I'm leaning towards this game does qualify for Game of the Year, and the reason why is because, well, first of all, this isn't the first game to do it. There have been previous remakes in the past in these award shows, and I think they qualified fairly. Like, yes, obviously it is, in a way, the same game, same story, gameplay, but they rebuilt it from the ground up. They made it feel original again. So it still feels like a new experience in 2023 to play this, even if you are a big fan of the original and you have played it so many times. Like, it still feels brand new, because it is brand new. It's, again, like I said, it's a reimagining. So yeah, I understand, especially this year, because there are quite a few amount of snubs here, which we'll get into. And the game has done really good with its reviews. People are still talking about it, they're still playing it. It's probably one of the best games that Capcom has ever made, like this specific remake. Why not? Why not give it a chance? Now, do I think it will win Game of the Year? No, because Baldur's Gate 3 is still there. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This is the other game that I have completed, and it is fantastic. I knew this game would get nominated. Some would say, well, it's just a 2D Mario. No, it's not just a 2D Mario. It actually is truly innovating the Mario mainline franchise. In my opinion, This is the third best Mario game they have ever made, like mainline Mario. The only two games I think are better are Mario Galaxy and Mario Odyssey. More so Mario Odyssey. I've not played the second Mario Galaxy. I think this is the best 2D Mario game they ever made. This is very innovative. There's a lot of direction here, there's a lot of vision. The levels are genius. I love that they removed the time limit and they replaced it with the Wonder Effect. Fantastic. This game is super replayable. It's fun to play by yourself with friends. It's crazy to see what people have been doing online and what things people have been discovering. The game is not that hard, but they have a challenging world and it is really hard and I love it. And it's just a game that is just going to keep going and going over time. What I mean by that is it will continue to be relevant and be brought up because it's a 2D Mario. It's going to continue to sell. It's going to continue to be remembered. Like, this is one of the better games of the year. But that's just my opinion. I actually do think maybe it could win. Like, I think this year is so competitive that anyone, except Marvel Spider-Man 2 unfortunately, could take Game of the Year. But ultimately, I'm thinking that Baldur's Gate 3 will get it. Next we have The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. So, when this game was dropping, everyone thought, here it is, the Game of the Year of 2023, and it's going to take all the awards. Then people realized how insane this year was for gaming, and then Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and now it's just, oh, you know, this game actually does have some crazy competition. Well, Baldur's Gate 3 is just, it just has been more successful with both critics and players. That's not to say that Tears of the Kingdom hasn't, but Baldur's Gate 3 really feels like it's like a crazy upset in the game industry, and I mean that in a good way. It's like, wait, hold on, this game is absolutely destroying everything, and it's so good that it might even just beat Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the freaking Kingdom. That is insane. But again, that's just a prediction. So, Tears of the Kingdom. This game is absolutely insane. I don't know how they managed to make this game better than Breath of the Wild. Like, I'm only 20 to 25 hours in, right? But I still feel like this game's already better. With the way they just rehashed a lot of things, they revamped a lot of things, while keeping the things that made Breath of the Wild masterful. And the characters are just as interesting, the narrative is really good, and the amount of things you can do is crazy. Like, I say I put 20 to 25 hours in, but I'm not even talking about the story. I have spent sessions just trying to explore the area and try to do these other shrines or try to go through that specific area. Like, it is an open world game done masterfully. This studio has been absolutely crazy with these Zelda games. You know, Zelda has always been like a critic favorite, a fan favorite. They always end up at these award shows because they are known for their creative abilities and innovation. And so, this game's definitely going to win an award, whether it be this one or the other ones. So this game is basically the biggest threat to Baldur's Gate 3 winning. A lot of people are still confident about Tears of the Kingdom being the Game of the Year. I understand that. I still think Baldur's Gate 3 will take it. But Tears of the Kingdom was the original predicted Game of the Year. We will see how that ends up next month. Now let's talk about the snubs. Now, because this year is so competitive, there are quite a lot of snubs, but I am just going to bring up two. Lies of P and Starfield. Lies of P is a funny one, because I know that some people did predict it, and Lies of P did get other nominations, being the art direction and the RPG. Here's the thing, people say that if this game was published by From Software, then it would be at the forefront of Game of the Year, and I think that's a little bit overdoing it, but at the same time, I do understand it. The media outlets they love, and because Lies of P isn't From Software, it's going to be a little under the radar, but this game was relevant and it was talked about. The reviews, they said it was good, but Soulsborne fans, they swear that this game is fantastic, and it is innovative. It is a real Game of the Year contender, and it does look fun. I feel like when you compare it to the other six, I'm not really sure how this could have beat it, even if it was by From Software. But who knows? I'm glad it got other nominations anyway. The other big snub, Starfield. Okay, guys, come on. If you like Starfield, that's completely fine, but Game of the Year nomination? Nah. And here's why. Starfield has been getting quite a lot of negativity lately now that more people are playing it and they're formulating their opinions. And if you look at the Steam reviews, you'll see that, like, yeah, it's not doing very well. And here's the problem with Starfield. I'm not too much of an expert on Bethesda developed games, but looking at what people are saying and my 3 hours of playing the game before I decided, yeah, this is not it for me. No point in advertising how, oh, there's all of these planets you can travel to. Why not just give me one actual cool in-depth planet? And the other thing, the story, or like the main missions, they weren't really that amazing. At least compared to what Elder Scrolls and Fallout is. Like, that's not gonna work. So I think now people are starting to realize that. And look, Starfield did get completely snubbed. It has best RPG, but let's be honest, I think that will probably be given to the other nominees. Let's be honest, probably Baldur's Gate. At the end of the day, I think the big takeaway from this is sometimes less is more. And that will do it for this video. So there's a lot to unpack about the Game Awards. Who do you think is gonna win? Who do you think got snubbed? And are you excited to watch the show this year? This is going to be a very competitive year, and we haven't even gone to the part where they reveal trailers. That is all for now, and I will see you next time.